We are so excited to have RPR here again today, talking about the new reports that are coming out. Humberto is so kind to come out and give us the update. So thank you so much, Humberto, for being here.
No, I love to be here. Thank you so much, Alicia and MLS Listings. It's always a wonderful time whenever I get to present with you all.
Oh, we're lucky to have you. And then I will be watching the chat. So if you guys have any questions during the presentation, we'll go ahead and place those in the chat and we will get to those at the end of the presentation. Right now, we'll hand it over. Thank
Fabulous.
you.
Awesome. Thank you, Alicia. Well, as Alicia mentioned, my name is Humberto Ramos, and I am an industry relations director for RPR in one of my states. It's actually California. So I have the pleasure of working really closely with all the MLSs and the associations, and of course, our realtor members in California. And today I want to showcase the next gen reports, the new improvements that we've done. And I'm also going to sprinkle in there a few of our new updates with AI because in the next few weeks, right before NAR Next, we will be launching and releasing to you, our members, the new CMA Empower with AI. So it's going to be a really fantastic improvement. I think everybody's going to love the way the new CMA works. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I have a PowerPoint that I'm going to power through, but then of course I'll showcase with the browser as well so you can see everything live in action as well. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the Power Deck. So thank you so much for coming. And I included in there a video for you all to watch afterwards. So I'll share the deck with Alicia and she can share it with you all because there's a quick video clip on here. So you guys can see, the promotional material of the next gen reports. And that way you can tell all your friends about it because RPR is disabling the legacy reports in the next few weeks after NAR Next. So we want to make sure everybody knows that the reports are already live for you, the new ones, and the legacy ones will be unfortunately discontinued. That way we get everybody on the same boat and everybody uses the new reports. So a little bit about the next gen reports. Here's a highlight that I'm not going to read, list by list, but I'll kind of, give you a breakdown. So the next gen reports, they're fully customizable. You are able to really customize, drag and drop the sections, take pages out, add items into the pages that you really want to showcase. And that way you really build out these next gen reports exactly how you want them. We understand that, being on the go as realtors, putting together the reports was really time consuming previously, especially when you're really trying to have all your materials ready. And the other part was how long they were, right? The next gen reports is able to save you a ton of ink as well if you're printing out reports, because the previous generation of reports, the default was 83 pages. And as much as we all love data, sometimes, that's quite, consuming with paper and with ink. So the next gen reports were able to really consolidate sections. We were able to save some pages for you all. And, ink and paper is really important as well, right? And, we want to be conscious of the environment too. So the next gen reports, yes, they're fully customizable. You really can tailor the experience to be what you want. So it's really fantastic to have them. We also have the live preview that you can see the reports as they're coming along. And you of course can, see the changes happen live as you're making them. If you're adding a section, you can you can see it being added on the preview, or if you're removing a section as well, you can also see it get removed as well. And in the bottom, you'll see that there's like a pages amount. So if you remove entire pages from the report, it'll, show you the amount of pages being used, decreasing as you go. There are also multiple sharing options in the next gen reports when you're sharing them with your clients or with a teammate or anything. You can share via email. You can also share via social media, and you can also share via a really fantastic feature called the dynamic link. What I really want to share about that dynamic link is that when you share that report via that link, that report will self-update in the background every 48 hours for up to a year. So when you send out that link to that particular property report to a client per se, or even a CMA as well, when you share it, it'll pull new data from our PR as we receive new market updates, new properties that have come on the market, depending if it's a seller report as well. And, it fluctuates the valuation models, different things that are included in there will be able to be updated in that report without you ever having to actually go back and manually update the report. So we know many realtors have told us, clients are always asking me, to run the same report again, 2 or 3 days after I sent it. Is there a work around that? So that's some of the feedback that, the product team was receiving before we built out and launched the next gen reports. So we're very happy to say that these reports are, self-updating, and you'll be able to really just rely on them and have them self-update in the background up to a year. After a year, that report will expire unless, of course, you make a copy of it and then it'll go ahead and reset again. So it's really fantastic to see these updates. Now you can kind of see here in the preview on the right side, this is the sections that you're able to drag and drop. You are able to select the section, and you can kind of move it up and down. If you move something towards the end, that's the end of the document. But if you move a section to the top, then it'll be the beginning. You can also customize the cover page, the custom pages. If your brokerage has a requirement for you to include certain pages in your reports, you can also include some notes on there. And you can also add your own additional photos of the property, just in case, you're trying to get the attention of a seller who has not listed that property before, and you don't have pictures because, you don't have the property listed. So if you take your own photographs of the property or of the neighborhood as well, you are able to add them in there before you save and download the report. You can also make sure it's got your branding because it's consistent through the entire platform. If you are a agent with a broker branded profile, all of that will remain continuing and consistent throughout as well. So if there are any brokers in the session, I would love to invite you to consider applying and joining the broker services program, because there is no charge to be using those services, the broker services program. So it's really fantastic to be able to provide that additional benefit to offices as well. All right, so let's take a quick look at also the live preview that I mentioned is here in the dynamic link. With that being said, I also want to mention and kind of reiterate, because some of our marketing and product teammates have told me, we want to make sure we're mentioning that all the reports are also available on mobile, and they work exactly the same on the mobile RPR app. So just in case, let's say you create the report, you save it in your account, and you are out on the field and you say, oh my goodness, I forgot to share that report with my client. I meant to send it to them earlier. Worry not. Everything syncs on your device, so all your reports will also populate on your device. I think I see some comments, right, Alicia?
We do have some questions. I do want to encourage you to go ahead and place your questions in the chat. We will get to those at the end.
Yeah.
There was one, Nick is asking, what are the different types of comparison report templates you have?
So we have a seller template, right? We also have the buyer template. And right now we have also a neighborhood template, school template, and we also have the CMA template. So that's a really umbrella template that we have, but you can customize it fully at, 100%. So you can really make that CMA work exactly how you want it. And there are two types of CMA. There's the buyer CMA and the seller CMA as well. Yeah, and I'll showcase all about that in just a few moments as well. So the some of the member benefits that we want to also stress out is the improved productivity that these reports provide you. It's really also a fantastic thing to be able to impress your clients, right? Because when you share a really nice visual to your client, it makes you look that much more professional than you already are. And you're also able to showcase all the expertise you have at your fingerprints, because realtors, you're really at the top of your game when it comes to creating data reports and trying to, impress your clients. You really are the most tried and true professionals in the market. So we want to be able to emphasize that by providing really cutting edge visuals, and of course, be able to really retain your branding as well, because we understand that that's super important as well. Now, this is exactly what a preview of the report would look like. If you see here in the bottom left of the screen, that is exactly where your branding as a realtor would be included. So make sure that everybody has your RPR portal branded. You can do so at the top right of your RPR portal. It'll either have your initials or your picture, and that's exactly where you want to make sure you add your name correctly, the correct spelling, your last name as well, your contact info, your broker website. If you do, however, join a brokerage, or if you are a broker who has not have branded portal, RPR portal, by when you submit your RPR branded broker branding request, all of that stuff, will be by default branded to your brokerage once you do join that. If you see that it's blank, most of the time it just has to do with not having a broker branding enabled. But, it's actually a very quick and easy process. We have a page that I can share with you all at the end where you can submit your broker branding request, just in case, you're not branded as well. And Alicia will include all the links because she's so helpful as well. So yes, it is really important to have your branding because, of course, we want to make sure that when you're presenting to your potential client, all of your branding will be consistent to ensure that, they know who you work for and they know that you're a very, very esteemed professional as well. All right. So see, these are some of the templates that I think that question might be able to be answered with. So we have the buyer template, we have a CMA template as well, and we have the seller templates as well. Every time you create a report, and even if you save it as a draft, it'll get dropped in here in the reports area, right? If you see here on the top left of the screen, let me scroll back one more time. There's an area that says templates. That's where we have the RPR templates as well, and where you are able to also save your own templates that you create. So everything will be in one screen. A couple of clicks will be able to move you around in navigation. And you can also hear that when you do save specific reports, there's also a filter right here that really enables you to filter out what type of reports you've created. So if you want to see all your property reports in one screen, you click on property. If you want to see all of your neighborhood reports, then you click on neighborhood, et cetera, with school, market, and trade area as well. So it's a really fantastic way to do it. You can also change the way you view your reports on the top right. You'll see that it says a list or a grid button as well. And you can kind of structure the way you prefer to see your reports. If you have a ton of reports already, sometimes having a list is much more friendly on the eyes and you don't have to scroll as much. So as I know many realtors in the industry, you like to hold on to all of your reports just in case you can use them again, right? All right. So the difference between templates and reports, I do want to reiterate. The template is something that you can choose to run another report on, right? The template is basically all the safe settings that you have, and we have our own templates that we've already pre-created for you as realtors that you have access to, but you are able to also create your own very templates. So just in case you really like how you tweaked one particular report for a particular property, you love the way it came out, that listing presentation was super successful, you can click to save that report as a template that you are able to reuse for another property or another neighborhood, etc. We did not have that capability before with the legacy report. So that's something that many realtors were very vocal with. And we love the fact that we are able to enable you, empower you to, save time in creating all of these reports as well. And you are able to generate as many templates as you want. Really is no limit. And of course, you do want to make sure you use them because once you run a report or save a template, if you haven't used it within a year, it'll get, purged from the system. So definitely make sure that you keep everything nice and tight, and that way you keep yourself nice and organized as well. Now, within the templates, everything is a customizable format. You are able to also, save your selected portions. There is no property specific data in the template because it's a template. It's really just a save setting in a way. That way you can create it for another property. So don't worry, even if there is numbers that show on one particular template from a property you ran, they'll get, completely replaced once you click for a new address to use that template for. And of course, the reports is everything that is unique and individual that you've already run as well. So it's a really fantastic thing. And as I mentioned, every report also self-updates in the background every 48 hours, up to a year when accessed via that dynamic link as well. Now, what is the power of templates? As I mentioned earlier, you're able to save some time, you stay flexible. And as I mentioned, if you are part of a brokerage that has the required pages that your brokerage requires for you to have in every report, all of those will be preloaded in that section and you won't have to be adding those pages manually each time. So that's kind of another additional benefit of having broker services branding in your RPR profile. And again, brokers, if you're in the session, please submit or click to apply and submit all your branding. That way, we can make sure that everything gets branded to your profile and all your agents will have access to all of those default pages that you're required. So it's pretty fantastic to have all of that. And here is another quick preview. So this is kind of how the CMA looks. We are able to show you the report cover. You're able to see the property summaries, the market trends as well of that particular neighborhood or city or zip code as well. Now, when you run a CMA for one particular property and you choose that report, you are able to have that CMA data embedded in that particular report template. So if you're choosing a seller template and you run a CMA on their property as a seller, it'll get preloaded. So when you type in the address when you're creating that seller report and you have a CMA that you've already run for that property, you can bet that it's going to be included on here and you can select it if you run more than once. But that way you don't have to be running things more than once at a time. Once you run the CMA first, then you can go ahead and add the CMA section into your reports. So it's a really fantastic workflow. We really hope we're helping you save time and save and be more efficient as well. And here is another idea of a template. You can also include the market trends, so you can see the nice visual of how the market is doing in that particular area. And when it comes to the market trends area, you are able to see multiple cards and charts. I call them cards because they're kind of the size of a really nice postcard. And you are able to see all that data in a really nice visual way that it's very easy to read. So you can see that there's one here for median estimated property value and then the overall market trends for that particular zip code. Now, the fantastic thing is the market trends do get updated monthly. So just in case the market does change drastically within the report, the market trends will also self-update every 48 hours, as I mentioned, because we know that the market, it's fluid. Sometimes from one week to the next, it might, start veering. Like, let's say, for example, this is a very, very strong buyer's area, but let's say, we do get more inventory in that market. So essentially that report will, be getting new market data from the MLS and the local resources that we have. It'll start, moving along towards maybe more a balanced market. So it just really does depend on exactly what's available in the inventory and what we're receiving from data as well. So it's a really fantastic tool to just empower your reports a little bit further. Now you are able to also create a first buyer home buyer template. We do have that available on there as well. So you are really able to emphasize the different benefits of the property, and you can really kind of showcase the most important information that a first time purchaser or buyer, will want to see, because we kind of know that sometimes you don't want to reinvent the wheel and you want to use what's already worked best. And this is a fantastic way to do it. So there's quite a lot. So I'm not going to go in the workflow exactly dot by dot, but you can see that this example workflow is really fantastic to follow when you're creating that report. So if you're in the prospecting stage, you can follow these steps as well. And then of course you have your initial consult, your showings, the listing prep. So this is just a really nice breakdown of how your transaction can go. And especially that this is exactly how we want to help with the next gen reports. And once you of course have everything ready to go, it's really nice that you are able to follow this rubric and be able to have all the data available at your fingertips to do the next gen reports and the market trends as well. So it's a really nice visual of how our next gen reports and our materials can really step in there and help you make it happen. All right, so as I mentioned earlier, the mobile app has everything at your fingertips. You can kind of see there's a screenshot of your reports and everything that you create. And as I mentioned, everything you create on your desktop shows up on your mobile device, and vice versa. Everything you create on your mobile device will also show up on your desktop. So it's fantastic to have all of these things available. All right, so who's ready to take a look at a next gen report with me? Ready? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and open a browser window really quick so you can see exactly how, oop, wrong window. This is not my work Facebook. Yeah, there we go. How about this one? Here we go. Let me
While we're
create.
waiting for that, we did have a question. Are they able to put their own logo along with the brokerage logo onto those reports?
So the way that it works though, it only has one logo at a time. So what I've seen some agents do, for example, if they have a team, what they do is they create a separate graphic, and in that graphic they drop their broker logo and then maybe their team logo, and then use that as a profile graphic, and then that'll, show up both of them. So at the moment we only have one logo by default, but you can override it and then of course add on maybe another graphic where you have both logos of your brokerage and maybe your team or your individual realtor logo as well. So yes, that is definitely
Sounds
possible.
good. Okay.
All right, so let's get started to run a report. So we'll click here in the reports area, and if not, you can also look for a property as well by address. So it just depends on what you find. So let me just go ahead and grab a previous listing or property that I may have seen. So we have this one in my hometown as well, so you can kind of see it here. So if you want to create a report from that particular property, all you have to do here is click create report and then select the template. Now, let's say you're hoping to represent that seller. You can go ahead and create a seller template right here, and then you can title that report exactly what you want. So let's say we want to call this person maybe page seller and continue. And this is the preview of how that report will look. Everybody can see it, right?
Mhm.
Yes, perfect. Okay. All right, so we're working on the preview and you can kind of see there's already a photo there and it's already got my branding right here that I've included. Now, depending on the photos that we receive, sometimes they are of previous listings as well. So just in case that happens, you can also customize the photos in the photos area right here. And you can see how the previous listing photos are on here from historical purposes. So if you're representing a seller, sometimes that helps because that might be what their property looked like when they bought it, right? So you can go ahead and also add your own photo if you click the select button right here, and you can also choose to, remove some previous photos as well. If not, you can also include the maps images that are pre-populated with Google Maps as well. So the photos are definitely an area that many agents like to review as they're creating these reports as well. Now, let's say you want to rearrange the sections. As I mentioned, it's super easy to do. You can drag and drop here. And you can kind of see the order change. I'm going to move it back up to the top. And let's say we want to add maybe a map area, right? So I'm going to click here to add these. And you can kind of see that the preview will be generated once the report is ran. Now, let's say I don't want to include an aerial and I just want to do the map. You can kind of see how it does shrink the amount of white space that report is running. And if you also click to remove some of those photos as well, it'll update the photos right here. So let's say we don't want too many photos from the previous listing. So we'll remove previous listing photos, and you can kind of see here that order is already shrinking, and you can kind of see here how there's less and less photos being generated. It's got a ton of photos that were selected by the report here. So if you click more, you can kind of see that there's a ton of photos that RPR had already selected just because it's a previous listing, right, that was chosen. But if you do click to remove, that way, you only see the photos that you want to have selected on there as well. So now let's go back to over here to the front. And let's say if you want to customize your cover photo, let's say, you want to replace that photo because you're not particularly crazy about it. You are able to click view all and then maybe upload your own photos of that particular property. Let's say you took a more recent photo. Let's say they changed the landscaping, they repainted the exterior. You are able to add your own photo to that property just in case you don't like the one that Google Maps has because, the landscape is completely different or Google Maps last took a picture of that home maybe 10 years ago. You never know, right? Depending on where you live. So you can replace everything that's already in that report. And you can also leave it blank in case, you prefer to leave it blank or you prefer to also have it blank because you want to save your own template and that way the system is not choosing previous photos. So if you leave it blank and you save it as a template, you can also start from scratch within that template. And for the next property that you use, you'll be able to select your own photos as well. So it's very useful to be able to do that. So I'm going to select just the map. So that way it's the semi most recent photo and not maybe a listing photo of another previous listing, right? So we can go back as well. And you can also select what you want to populate from your profile as well. So let's say you don't want the profile logo to come out and you want maybe to edit your own profile as well. You can also do that right here and it'll take you here to update your logo as well, right? So if you click cancel, it should take you back. I'm actually going to talk to product about that because if you click cancel, it's supposed to take you back to that particular report. All right. So if we click one more time in the cover page, you can see here, I can still include my logo on there. And you can also include a nice note that you can write to your potential client, potential seller, potential buyer. You can say, hello, I am your realtor for your listing. And you can kind of see on the right side is exactly where that quick little message will populate. Now, if you want to add also your custom pages, just in case you're not part of broker branding, but your brokerage does require you to add those particular pages, that's exactly where you would add those as well. You also can add notes here if there are any notes that you've created in the property. And again, the property photos can also be edited from this menu as well. And also you want to make sure you have the address correctly just in case, right? But yeah, if you scroll here, you can also see the area where the CMA would be included. Since I have not run a CMA for this property, it has not populated, right? So you do have to create a CMA for that property if you want the CMA section to be included in this report. Once you create it, then it'll of course also have these additional property details or comp property adjustments, comp property details as well, if you've already, selected the comp properties as well. Now, there's also this section for the refined value that you can also include on here. And if you do add it, then it'll populate that page for you as well. And if not, you can also take it off as well. So yeah, there is quite a few customization features within these reports. You can also, take off maybe the about RPR in case you don't want to include that. Now, if your brokerage, for example, does have ancillary services that you would like to include on here, these will also be populated on here just in case you have a title company that you've recommended or that you particularly work with, or even a bank as well, any type of services for the home as well, like plumbing as well, if you have affiliated services that you include through your brokerage branding. Those will also be added on here. So it's pretty nice to have additional resources for that as well, right? Just in case something, the home might need something, the seller or buyer might be able to contact one of those recommended services from your behalf. So isn't that cool? There's quite a few resources and additional information in these templates that we are able to make. Now, let's say you really kind of got sidetracked, the reset button is right there and you are able to reset to default and then start over just in case you need to. Now, as I mentioned, there is a way to create a template from something you've already created. You can just hit the save button right here, and here you have your two options. Just in case you're not finished exactly putting that report together, but you don't want to lose it, just click save as draft and it'll save that report as a draft. And let's say you are finished and you absolutely loved the report and how it turned out, just click save as template, then it'll let you select that template again for other properties in the future, just in case it's in the same neighborhood and you really thought all that information was relevant. You are able to reuse that template again for later. Now, it's very easy to also share the report. You can generate a PDF or several pages as well. If you click the download button right here, it'll generate that report for you. If not, if you want to just send it directly as well, you can click the share button right here. And this is exactly where I mentioned that you can get that dynamic link that self-updates in the background. All you got to click is copy dynamic link and voila. And then you go and paste it somewhere. And there you go. Now, it might be easier if you just click dynamic link, so that way you can send that out to your potential client as well. But you can kind of see it generated with all the info that I had selected previously. You can see I had selected to only include the roadmap right there and not the aerial view as well. So isn't it fantastic to have all of these features available? It's super easy to use. You can also, of course, email it directly here from RPR, CC yourself, and customize your message that you want to include. And if you also prefer maybe to share the report on social media, you can also do so just in case you want to share a neighborhood report. Excuse me, you are able to generate a neighborhood report and then click share to social media as well, just in case you want to provide a market update for your potential audience. And there we go. So that's kind of a really quick glance at the reports. Now, if we go back here to the reports menu, this is exactly the area I mentioned earlier. When you save your own reports, they will be here in the reports area. If you want to see the templates that RPR has pre-created for you that you want to work off of, that way you don't have to start from scratch every time, you can click here. Now, when you do save your own templates, they'll be in a separate area called My Report Templates, and that way you don't get confused and have everything on the same page. So let's take a look again at the report templates that RPR creates. You will see here there's a school template as well, a neighborhood template, a market activity as well, and even a flyer template. So this is exactly how a flyer will look that you can create from a property that you are ready to list. Let's say you went out to a town or to an open house, and your client really liked the property. Well, you can generate a flyer for your client right there just by clicking on the app and share it directly as well. So you are able to do a bunch of good stuff with these templates really quickly on the fly when you have your RPR mobile app available. So yeah, it's pretty fantastic to have all of these features and all of these templates available. Now you can see in the same window, these will be the RPR templates, right? Now, if you want to look at your own templates, they will also be included here. So I already created some here myself, titled Jack Smith, Llewellyn, Deanna Seller template as well. And even I named one Bel Air buyer just because I was looking at different neighborhoods when I was creating these particular templates. So you can kind of see here, and if you do click one, it'll ask you to type in an address so you can reuse that template for that particular address you want to run that data with. So it's pretty accessible and very responsive as well. Now, reminder, the legacy reports are the older ones. Those are the ones that I mentioned that will be sunsetting at the end of this year. So definitely make sure that you're using the new ones, which by default are the new ones, just in case you want to familiarize yourself with everything as well. So let's go back to our PowerPoint and let's see if there's anything else I may have missed, because next I do want to show you all the quick AI updates that we've had. And I think everybody's going to be really, really impressed with those. So let's go ahead and jump back in here into our PowerPoint. All right. So what's next for RPR's AI tool? So recently we have updated the scriptwriter tool, and we added additional materials that you can create, like a quick video clip, some social media cards, and even a PowerPoint template that you can select and work off of. And I mean like a full PowerPoint template. It's got captions in it, graphics. It's a really fantastic improvement. And the challenge that a lot of many realtors are facing is that you don't lack data, but you'd lack the time to create a bunch of content. And many of the times it's really costly to hire a marketer. So it's really difficult to find the time to create your own content and turn it into a reality from exactly what you want. But the fix, that we have is the scriptwriter. As you can see here, you can create a quick trends article. So basically like a blog post that you can have a ChatGPT help you create. You can also create a social media card or a few, and that way you can download those and then post them on your social media as well. You are able to create that PowerPoint I mentioned, the social video clip as well, showcasing the market trend stats that you may have run. It'll also help you write up a really nice client email that you are able to use to then, contact the client as well. And also a video script. If I have any realtors in the audience that love creating video content, but sometimes, you might get tongue-tied or you might not know exactly what to say, but you still want to be able to create a video that you want to upload to your YouTube channel, to your TikTok channel, or even your Instagram account as well. You are able to create a video script that will help you review or even just chat about the particular stats that you're running, right? So you can pick an audience, and you can also pick the way that you want the script or the captions to sound as well. And it's really quick and easy. And so I'm going to show you guys exactly how it works. You basically just go to the research area, and you are able to click residential market trends. And you can also do the step-by-step in the very front guided tour portion of the RPR portal, just in case you get a little stuck, right? Now, everybody's really loving the feature. There's been so many reports and market trends that have been generated, and many realtors are using it to select video scripts and social media campaigns. And even just to review the metrics is really fantastic to use. Now, here you can kind of see one of the templates that we may have had available. And actually, we may have made some improvements to the templates available for the PowerPoint, but it'll essentially create slides in that PowerPoint of all the data that you're reviewing, just in case you are meeting, with an office full of professionals in a economic development company, or even if you're, meeting with another particular investor group, you are able to, create a really fantastic set of PowerPoint slides. And it's also ready. It also helps you create ready to share market cards as well. These are the social media cards I mentioned. So it'll create everything branded to you. So make sure you have a really nice picture of yourself available on there. So just in case you are able to create that graphic, you'll be able to have your face on there, and you can create all of this social media content. There is quite a few designs that we have already on there, and it also writes up 5 social media captions that you can choose to share these stats as well. So I'm going to show you guys how it works in a few, but you can kind of see here, there's different ways that the cards will look. And it includes all the stats for you. You don't have to type in all the stats manually. So it's pretty awesome to have the AI really save you a lot of time to do that. Now they're already available and for you to play with. So if you click research, click on residential market trends, you'll be able to see exactly for yourself how these work. Now this is one quick video clip, and it'll have everything branded as well. The videos will be branded to you as well, just like the social cards and the reports as well. And it's really fun to see the content. And the other thing about social media is you are able to see your engagement. So, right, when you create content through here and you post it on social media, it'll hopefully increase your engagement on social media, and you'll have a longer and I guess a farther reach, right, with your audiences as well. So there is a lot of realtors who are already using it. Michelle here, she loves the hyperlocal market trends, and I'm exactly really happy that we have the feedback from your peers because many of the times realtors are very focused on working with their peers, but if they see a successful transaction, sometimes they ask your peers, hey, how did you create all of that content that I was seeing in your channel? Well, your peers sometimes are the best people to help us push our message out, right? So I'm going to go and show you exactly how it works before I get to the mobile AI tool. So I'm going to jump back into RPR here. So you'll click on research, right? And then you'll click residential market trends. And here you can select a neighborhood to type in. Alicia, give me a fun zip code that you think might be helpful if I run it.
Ooh, hang on.
Yeah.
What's the Sunnyvale?
I can also type it in by name.
Sunnyvale, California?
Sunny, Sunny, and then
A-L-E?
Sunny Ale.
Sunnyvale, V-A-L-E?
A L B L. Oh, there it is. Yeah, because there's also one in Texas, believe it or not. How funny. Yeah, so you can click it here and it'll generate all of that for you. So you can see here, it's got the market trends. Now, all of these cards that I mentioned earlier, they are downloadable. So you can click the share button right here and download these graphics or also share them directly through here on your social media channels as well. And there are quite a few. There's median estimated property value, new listings, active listings. You can also click through each card as well, so you can see for yourself how all of this data changes through each month and through each year of the industry as well. There's pending listings, new pending listings, sold listings as well, and months of inventory as well that you can kind of click to view just so you can get an understanding of how the market is doing. Now, I do get the question sometimes that our market trends differentiate from the MLS trends as well. I do want to also emphasize that we also get data from multiple other sources than just the MLS because sometimes there are off-market transactions that we may not see come through the MLS, but they do happen still through the public sector. We still use that data to be able to help you create a different set of data points as well so you can see different numbers. So let's go ahead and get started and create something fun for social media. So I'm going to hit the create a script button right here. And here we are. You can see the different points as well. One thing I forgot to mention, you can select the property type of those particular trends. So let's say we only want to talk about residential single family. So I will select that property type right there to make sure that my data is more accurate. Now let's hit the create script button. And let's say I want to create a social media card, but I want to sound friendly, right? Because it's social media. And since it's a seller's template, I want to talk to some buyers. So I'm going to create a social card right here with this button. Now you'll see here that my info has already been pre-generated because I have my RPR portal branded to what I want to look like with my name, my company name as well, my email, my phone number, and even my agent photo as well, and my logo. Now, just in case you want to add another logo just for the social media section, you can also replace it right here as well. Now, next, we're going to select the background we want to use. And my first option is right here, but if you scroll farther up just a bit, you can kind of see that there's different templates. There's a garden path. There's also a town with lights, a cozy living room, a desert lawn, a neighborhood curve as well, just in case you want to do a neighborhood report. You can kind of select it as you go. Now, I like this one because it's a very contemporary, new type of feel and modern property. But you can still see here how all of those stats that we were just viewing right here in the back, you can see here that they got added to the card automatically. You don't have to type in all of that individually. Now, let's say I'm ready to go, right? But I don't know what to write, right? So we'll just create a caption and the AI will be thinking in the background. There's all the gerbils running on their little hamster wheels trying to make the computers think. And here we go. It created one caption, but if you are not loving that first caption, you can see that there are four more. Isn't that fun? Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And you can also copy them. Just in case you only like maybe the third one, you can select the third one instead. Click copy caption, save and share, and it'll show you a preview of how your post will look. And it'll also add the social card you created to your media library, which is another button in the beginning that you'll see that all of your creations will get saved for you. And that way you don't lose them, right? Just in case you don't get to download them. But let's say I want to just share on LinkedIn just to begin. And I'm ready to go right here. And it's going to generate my preview. And because I already copied my caption previously, all I got to do is click paste and it'll add my caption for me. And here we go. This is exactly a preview to my post, and you can just hit post whenever you're ready. Right?
Nice. That's going to save quite a bit of time.
Yeah, and it really just, again, helps the agent save time creating content. So it's pretty fabulous to be able to do all of this really, really quickly. Now, if you if you already finish your media and you want to just go back and maybe download it because you shared it on social media, but you want to hold on to it for other social channels that might not be at the bottom, like Instagram, for example, you can go back to your media library and see all the previous stuff you've already created because everything will get saved and you can just hit the download button to download it. Now let's go back to our scriptwriter. Let's say I want to create a PowerPoint presentation, maybe to talk to some investors, and I want to sound professional. So I'm going to hit that button to create a PowerPoint presentation, hit the create content button, and even more gerbils are running around at this point, right? Generating the energy for the AI to start thinking and it's, creating the PowerPoint and it's going to prompt you to save it somewhere once it's ready to go. Or at least I have my computer to ask me where I want to save it. I'm not sure of everybody else. Sometimes everybody just goes to the downloads button.
Love that though. Love the idea of having the whole PowerPoint presentation with captions and everything ready to go. That
Yeah,
such
and I'm
an
going to show you
amazing.
exactly how it looks once it's ready. It's
Mhm.
taking longer than usual, but I do apologize. My internet has not been the best. But here we go. So it's going to give you a preview of what they look, and here are three templates that you can select from. Excuse me, a sketch, an estate, or a skyline, depending on, who you want to meet with. So if you want to go with a skyline template, you can do so, and it's going to show you the preview of what each deck is going to show in the captions, right? So that's a really nice preview and we're ready to go. So I'm going to select the download button since I changed the template. I wish I had like the Jeopardy sound effects in the background.
We'll have to put those in later. We'll have
Right?
to.
Speaking of music, the video clip tool
Mhm.
does include a little bit of sound. So
Oh,
I'll show you how
nice.
that works as well. So let's go back over here and save this into our folder. All right, so I'm going to save it right there, RPR presentation, and I'm going to open it as an additional PowerPoint. Oop, I left mine in full screen. So let me exit out of full screen really quick. All right, so I'm going to show you what the new one looks like. And here we go. Can you see it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And if you scroll through each section, you can kind of see exactly all the previewed content that we created is right here. New listings, active listings, and it sounds nice and professional because that's the tone that we wanted, right? And you can select to change the tone just in case, you want to sound friendlier, you want to sound more engaging, more laid back, depending on who your audience is. You are able to, change that and go ahead and change the template as well. Isn't that cool? It's pretty fantastic what our team has been able to create with this. And lastly, at the end, you'll see your contact information will be generated right there at the end. And you can still edit it because mind you, all of the fonts that it created, you are able to get them installed on your computer just in case you don't have them, but you can edit the PowerPoint still if you'd like. Yeah. You can see everything
Amazing.
is still a full PowerPoint. And of course, you want to double check your name is not typoed or something because, sometimes that happens. But yeah, you can see even the logo for the company, you can still replace when you download everything. It's
Awesome. And
pretty
of
epic.
course, we always encourage our agents to double check any AI that
Yes.
they download just
That's
in
right.
case.
Yeah, you want to make sure everything is exactly how you want it, right? So
Mhm.
yeah, if you change the template, you'll just have to, do the template again. But I do want to show everybody how the video clip will also work. So you click video clip, and there are currently two templates right here that you can generate. You can either do how's the market or the market buzz. Click generate video, and it'll generate a nice little paragraph as well with that template of that market trend that you saw. And let's hope that it doesn't that I don't break it because the other day I think I broke it.
Don't jinx it.
It's moving, it's moving, it's moving. Sometimes I feel like if I cheer at it, it'll finish quicker.
So this is going to be a video of the different slides.
Yeah, a quick little clip of just 17 seconds. And if you click play right here, now it does have music. I didn't share my sound. So let me stop my share really quick so you can hear the sound. All right, so I'm going to click share one more time just so everybody's able to see. Share sound and share. Okay, I'm going to click play one more time. Let me make sure it's not super loud. It's got fun little background music that it's just able to create some additional. And there you go.
And
That's
how
just
much time does it look like you spent on that?
I don't know, maybe a minute at the most, right? And you can download the video right here so that way you just upload it directly to your social channels. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We are working on additional changes to the platform, but of course it's on beta. So we want to make sure everybody knows that we're still testing it because of course when you're launching a new feature, it might be a little wonky or something might break. So we just want to make sure everybody knows that if that does happen, reach out to support, submit some feedback info so that way we know what exactly may have gone wrong. Right. So yeah, it's a fantastic tool and we're super, super pleased with everything. Now let's get to the mobile AI stuff because I know we're kind of, running out of time, but in a few more weeks, we are launching the CMA powered by AI within the RPR mobile app. And this is exactly what it might look like. You can see here exactly the trends that I just showed you earlier. They are also available on your device. And you can also create some property insights with AI within your mobile tool as well, mobile app as well. So you are able to kind of give yourself a summary with when you hit the AI button within the RPR mobile app. Now, there is also available for the commercial practitioners. We want to know that we're trying to emulate everything that all the benefits and features from RPR. We want to make sure the commercial practitioners also know. And obviously the same thing for commercial insights. Now, this is the fun stuff I was just talking about. The AI CMA coming November. We're hoping to really have it out by around NAR next, so around November 12th. Keep your fingers crossed that we're able to, stay around that launch date. But you can kind of see here, you open a property up and you hit the AI button right there on the bottom right, and it'll ask you what kind of CMA you want to create, a seller CMA or a buyer CMA. Then it'll take you to your next window where it helps you select the relevant properties for that particular CMA. You are able to, see everything about about the properties. You're able to click view the details of the property. You can also score the property on there just to see how relevant or how good or how close it might be to a potential context for your CMA. And then once you hit also the details, it'll show you all the property details of that particular property in the comp as well. And it also helps you come up with some seller pricing strategies, which is new to the CMA. So if you want to stay below market, you can do that. If you want to do market alignment, it'll also make a recommendation depending on how the market is doing. It'll analyze all the stats, all of the features of that property, the conditions, etc. So it's a fantastic, fantastic improvement to the CMA that we are so happy that we are going to be able to share with all of our members. So it's pretty awesome. Now, if you do click on each strategy as well, you can see exactly the breakdown of why that strategy is described the way that it is. And you'll see here why it's a below market strategy. You see the market aligned strategy as well. And then the top of the market strategy as well. So the system will show you the criteria that it's selecting to be able to suggest those strategies for you. Isn't that cool? It's pretty awesome, right?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, so I think it's really going to, change the game when it comes to creating CMAs on the go, because I know that it's super important. And if you go through each property as well, you are able to see exactly for the buyer area as well. So it works really fantastic for both. Lastly, I want to remind everybody about the fantastic blog that we have for everybody, all of our webinars, all our social media content templates for everything. everything's on our blog. So make sure that you visit the blog just in case you want to learn more about a specific feature that you might not be super familiar with, because I know it's very overwhelming to try to use a feature and try to learn as you go, but we have a ton of resources in the blog as well. Lastly, I want to remind everybody, you can also reach our support hotline at 877-977-7576 as well. Now, I think we have a little bit of time for some questions, right?
Perfect. I also did put the link for the blog in the chat. I did see some questions earlier. I think we
Sure.
were able to answer those. If anybody else has any additional questions, we have just a couple minutes left for Humberto, and we'd be happy to get those. If you think of them later, that's totally fine. You can always send them in to prodev@mlslistings.com. That will go to all of the trainers in MLS listings, and we can reach out to Humberto for you as well.
Perfect.
So no problems at all. We are so excited to have RPR coming back in 2026 monthly. So super excited about that. Thank you so much for being so flexible and available to our agents. We certainly appreciate it. And with all of your new upgrades, it's going to be great to have you back in our sessions all the
Yeah,
time.
I think so too. And I really enjoy, meeting with so many of your realtors in MLS listings and of course the staff at MLS listings because you are all great. So really give a round of applause to your staff at MLS listings, Alicia, because you all do so much for everybody.
Make sure to check out our Pro Support page for additional videos on a full range of topics. And don't forget to click that subscribe button on our MLS Listings YouTube page.